The situation with Diddy, hits keep coming even after conviction. Like I said, the good news, he's been acquitted of three of the most serious charges, but he got hit with the least serious, but still he could serve some jail time. But the most interesting question, where does his business venture stand? This is from Associated Press. Um, and this is like from, if I'm looking at this correctly now, make sure I look at the right date. I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right date so there'll be no mistake about it. This is after his conviction. Try to make sure I got the right date here before I assume anything. This is from, I believe, July 2nd, if I'm correct. Yep. Okay. The Associated Press starts off with, after Diddy's conviction, here's where his business ventures stand. There's a sketch of Diddy, gray hair, facing the seat, bent down, like he's praying to the CEO, thinking, being grateful for the three most serious convictions he's been acquitted from. But what does this mean for his business ventures? So it starts from here. It says in Los Angeles, in the Associated Press, Sean Diddy Combs has been acquitted of the most serious charges in his federal sex trafficking trial. But that doesn't mean the once celebrated music mogul will see his business empire restored. So basically, if he thought that things going to go as they were or pick up where he left off from, not going to happen. I think deep down inside, he knows that life as he knows it in terms of that business standpoint is never going to be the same. In fact, it's practically over almost. Combs, 55, is one of the most influential figures in hip-hop history. Was acquitted Wednesday of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking, but charges convicted on prostitution offenses. That is going to stick. Prosecutors painted a dark portrait of the mogul, with witnesses taking the stand to allege pattern of violence that detail drug-fueled sex parties he reported called freak-offs or hotel nights. I just call them 21st century orgies. That's called what it is. Combs was convicted of flying people around the country, including his girlfriends and paid male sex workers, to engage in sexual encounters, a felony violation of the Federal Mann Act. He will remain in custody while he awaits sentencing. Here's a closer look at how Combs' business portfolio and public image have crumbled under the weight of the allegations. So even like he wasn't convicted of the three most serious charges, his business is suffering horribly. So what has happened to Combs' empire? The irony is, like, his empire started to crumble, I think before he was arrested. It started to crumble before he was arrested. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Before Combs was arrested and charged, his major business ventures had collapsed. He stepped down and fully divested from Revolt TV. That's one of them, which he founded in 2013. The network offered a mixed programming focus on hip-hop culture, R&B music, social justice, and documentaries. He also reported lost a Hulu reality series deal and saw his once iconic fashion brand Sean John vanish from Macy's shelves. If your fashion line is taken off of Macy's shelves, you have a major problem. If you have your fashion line on Macy's shelves, you made it. The moment you take it off, you got a problem, a major one. After surveillance footage surfaced last year showing Combs physically assaulting singer Cassie, his then girlfriend, in 2016, consequences mounted. New York City revoked their ceremonial key. Ouch. Peloton pulled their music. That's the exercise bicycle you see in commercials. And his music is put on there. Every time his music is getting played, he's getting paid, and there's a lot of Peloton bikes out there. But once his music gets pulled, there goes his revenue stream. Howard University rescinded his honorary degree and his charter school in Harlem to cut ties. Ouch. Last year, Combs settled a legal dispute with Diageo, withdrawing lawsuit filed as part of a settlement with the London-based spirits giant, the alcohol giants, making the company the sole owner of Ciroc and De Leon, While many of his ventures has unraveled, his music catalog for now remains intact. Keywords for now. His music catalog. You gotta check it out in terms of music. You'd be a little surprised. Where does Combs' music stand? Bad Boy Records may be synonymous with the 1990s icon like Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, Mace, and 112. But Combs kept the label relevant before his arrest with high-profile releases. In 2023, Combs dropped the Love album Off the Grid, which was his first solo album, studio album in nearly in 2 decades. Janelle Monáe released her critically acclaimed project, The Age of Pleasure. For Bad Boy, both albums earned Grammy nominations. Monáe effort reorganized in the prestigious Record of the Year category. Ahead of the Love album release, Combs made headlines by returning Bad Boy publishing rights to several former artists and songwriters years after he was criticized for how he handled their contracts. Bad Boy Records remained operational, but the label had been significantly shaken by Combs' legal firestorm and hasn't announced any major upcoming releases. Last week, a surprise EP called Never Stop, released by his son King Combs and Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, showed support for their Better Mogul. The project was released through Goodfellas Entertainment. Bad Boy Records remained active through 2022, backing Machine Gun Kelly's mainstream sellout under Bad Boy's umbrella. He was a producer on MTV's reality television series Making the Band, Sean Combs, and Making his Band, launching the careers of the artists like the girl group Danity Kane and the male R&B group Day 26. Could Diddy's fortune be at risk? That's a good question. Combs had been sued by multiple people who claimed to have been victims of physical or SA. He has already paid $20 million to settle with one accuser, his former girlfriend Cassie. Most of those lawsuits, though, are still pending. It isn't clear how many, if any, would be successful or how much would it cost Combs to defend himself in court. Combs and his lawyers have denied all misconduct allegations and dismissed his accusers out for the big payday, but for what I've seen, he's a control freak, manipulative, violent, aggressive, no boundaries, take no for an answer, period. They even admitted when it comes to domestic violence, yeah, that's Combs. They said so as much. Federal prosecutors had informed the court that if Combs is convicted, they would seek to have him forfeit forfeits any assets, including property used to commit or facilitate his crimes. And it was not immediately clear following the verdict how prosecutors would proceed or whether asset forfeiture would be part of the sentence imposed by the judge. So basically, yeah, he could lose some more money. Now the question though, how is Diddy's music faring on streaming? That's a good question. Despite the legal turmoil surrounding Combs, his music catalog remains widely available on major streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music. None of the streamers have publicly addressed whether they plan to adjust how his music is featured. Interesting enough, Combs' music saw roughly a 20% boost in U.S. streaming between April and May of this year. His biggest monthly spike this year, according to Luminate, the numbers jump coincide with key moments in the trial, including testimonies from Cassie and Kid Cudi. However, there was a slight drop-off with a 5-10% decrease in June compared to the previous month's stream. Streaming makes a fraction of the artist's revenue and is calculated through a complicated process called stream share. Most artists see very little paid from digital services. That sucks. What about the other businesses like Sean John? That is a good question. Sean John, founded in 1998, has gone largely dormant. With its presence disappearing from major retailers like Macy's, there are no clear signs of a relaunch on the horizon. In 2023, Combs launched Empower Global, an online marketplace designed to uplift Black-owned businesses and strengthen the Black dollar. He positioned the platform as a modern-day Black Wall Street, backing it with a reported $20 million of his own investment. The platform debut with 70 brands and plan to expand on onboarding new Black-owned businesses each month, aiming to feature more than 200 by year's end. However, as of 2023 came to a close, several brands cut ties with Empower Global. It was reported that some cited disappointing performance and growing concerns over the misconduct allegations surrounding Combs. That's kind of sad. You gonna tell me there's not other very successful Black men or Black women who could do the same thing what Combs is trying to do? That's sad. That is very sad. And I believe that is it for now, folks. But what are your thoughts on this? The fact that Diddy's business venture is in danger of crumbling. It technically started crumbling before he was even arrested, but now it's just a conviction. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to try to come back. It's gonna be it's a done deal. It's gonna be a done deal. Plus the lawsuits and allegations, that's not gonna help him his cause. But thoughts, folks. Folks, what's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. Peace.